everyone, it's me, Franzi, and today I'm coming to you with a book review of a book that's... I don't know, I haven't really heard much about that book or anything at all. The English title is Thera, named after a Greek island. This book is set in Israel and the author is from Israel as well. So that's great because I haven't read a book from Israel, I think, before. And I have a few friends there, but I don't know anything about literature from Israel. And a lot of people like to read more diversely at the moment. So maybe this is something for you. It was my book club pick for October and we had a really long discussion about it. I have to say that everyone liked it more as I did, but it's a really interesting book and I will tell you about it. The main character in here is Ella, and Ella is married and she has a 6-year-old son. At the beginning of the book she decides to get divorced from her husband, and the whole book deals with after she decides to take the step, then what happens and what happens to the family and what happens to their son and just to all the people around them. How do they react and how does Ella in a way find peace again? Can she be happy again? Was it right to get divorced, or should she have listened more to her son and that he wants his dad and that they don't get divorced? And it's just a really interesting topic, and I think a lot of people have to do with this topic. I mean, I don't, my parents are still together, but it's really normal nowadays that people get divorced and that children live a time at mommy's place and a time at daddy's place, or they only have one parent anymore. So that was really interesting to read about for me. So I start with my positive and negative thoughts, and I have a lot of negative thoughts as well as positive thoughts, so don't be discouraged just yet. My negative thoughts are that this book is so real, and the way it describes people that in a way you hate them all. They are just, I don't know, I had a really hard time reading it because I couldn't really connect to one single character, because sometimes they did nice things, but most of the times they were just so self-centered, or I don't know, it was really hard to get through sometimes. It really did make me angry. So sometimes I just wanted to bang my book against the wall, and I thought, oh, I have to read it because of the book club. And I set myself a limit, like do 20 pages a day and try to get on, but it definitely gets better. What I also hated is the way they treat women. Now, I don't really know much about the culture in Israel. The people I know from Israel, they are all young, my age, and they are really independent, and I don't see them the way that I read about the society in this book. So I don't know if it's a thing between older people, and I don't want to judge a society just because of a book. So in this book, people are quite negative against women. That's what I see. Ella wants to get divorced and everybody says, no, you can't leave your husband, you just can't do it. You have to live with him and he's not that bad. And her friends and his friends and her parents and everyone was against it, and that made me angry to no end. But as I said, all characters were in a way really annoying. Another thing that's not really bad, but it is really, really character focused. So if you like action-paced plots or anything, then this book is absolutely not for you. You followed them quite a longer time, but it's not really interesting, the things they do, because it's just normal daily life. So you really have to read this for the characters, and that's why I come to my positive thoughts. This book is just so deep. I mean, those characters, as I said, I hated them, but I could appreciate that I hate them because they were just so lifelike in a way. So this book is written in a kind of stream of consciousness writing style. It's just one sentence after another, and really long sentences, and people speak direct speech dialogues in the sentences, but you don't really see when it starts and when it ends, so it just all flows together. And that's really hard to read because this book is around 600 pages and you just can't skim over it. Absolutely not. It's just so hard to read, so you have to read slowly, the way you would read it to others. And so the main character Ella, you really feel like you hear her thoughts and the way she sings. And I think that's why I have this negative feeling to her, because I see all her thoughts and I just think, oh my god, that's just so negative. But I don't know if I would write down all of my thoughts, if it would really be so different. Who knows? The characters are real, but I still don't understand them. I can appreciate them and I can see that people like them exist, but it's just so foreign to me how they think. So that's really interesting. Another part is the characterization of the son. Like I said, he's 6 years old and he's written so real, and you can feel his inner battles because his parents get divorced. He's just such an awesome mix of the little devil and a tiny, tiny angel, but it's mostly the devil, and that was totally great, I think, because normally you only read good things about little kids in books. That was refreshing. I mean, I am scared now to ever get kids, because the way he was described, it was just so real, and you feel like, oh my god, yeah, kids could be this way. And it's just, oh my god. So the characters are really unique, and even though I didn't really enjoy reading this book, they will stay with me for a while, because I'm just really connected to them in a way, and I really don't want to, but I am. And all the relationships in this book are just so weird at times, and then totally normal again, but then they are so weird again. It's just, it's such a strange book, and I would definitely say it's a great book, even though I did hate it at times and hated it a whole lot. But like I said, all the other people in my book club, they really liked it, so maybe it's more for you. I would say for fun while reading, I give this book just 1 star, but in the end it definitely gets 3 stars from me. And I feel like the longer I stop reading, the higher it gets. That's really interesting, because normally my rating goes down after I think about it a little bit more. I would recommend this book for everyone who wants to read something else, likes really deep characterization, wants to read more diversely, because it is set in Israel. For everyone who likes to read kind of intelligent books that force you to think about your books. And I would definitely recommend this book for book clubs, because like I said, we had a lot to talk about, and it was really interesting because some of us had kids and others don't, and some were divorced, and it's just so interesting to see all those different points of view and to bring it together with this book. So that's why I could appreciate it even more in the end. Really interesting author as well. I don't think I will read another book from her, but like I said, I would still recommend it. So that's it from me, and next month I will review our next book club pick, which is The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. I wanted to read this book for ages, and I'm so excited to finally read it and then talk about it. And yeah, so see you soon, guys. I really have to eat something. I'm so hungry. Until next week. Bye bye.